I am not a fragrance reviewer. I'm not. I'm a content creator. I'm an entertainer. A centertainer, as I was labeled many years ago. This is what I love to do, is create content about things that I really enjoy, like fragrance. A reviewer is a different thing. They're really passionate, knowledgeable, and can trace things back to their origin and really dig in deep into the art of perfumery. I don't do that. I'm a completely left entity. I'm the for dummies version, the entertainment factor, the businessman, I guess the influencer. I take all true facets of my personality and obviously turn it up for the camera because it entertains me, which in turn entertains you guys, and I love y'all for it. But there are a lot of real reviewers out there, and this fragrance is from a person that I would consider a true reviewer. And that's Eugene from You Smells Good. Now, you guys know I don't watch a lot of content creators. I don't think a lot of content creators watch each other's shit, so it doesn't kind of mesh. I mean, and it's like a chef working in the kitchen all day to come home and cook. It's kind of that same motif, like who? Nobody wants to do that shit. You don't want to be in that same bubble 24/7. That shit is exhausting. But the way Eugene's channel was introduced to me is because he made a video about content creators and I was mentioning one of them with a kind of like a diss, like a jab or whatever, which I thought was funny as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I showed it to a couple of my boys and they were laughing their asses off. But I also have a dark sense of humor. I come from a very comedic style background kind of shit. So for me, it was different. But I saw something a little different in dude. People considered it like beef or whatever. I'm like, that's not beef. Where I'm from, that's not beef at all. At all. It's not even in the same planet as a problem. So I'm kind of like, whatever. But since I was already introduced to the channel, I checked out a couple of his videos around that time. And I saw a dude who was like OD passionate about the art of perfumery. Very intense, very deep, super opinionated, and shitted on a lot of reviewers at that time. Now, fast forward years later, I've actually had brief conversations. He's tapped into some of my lives or whatever and shown love. People change. I don't know his story, nor is it none of my business. So he dropped the fragrance. I do follow him on the gram. And I was like, I'm very curious to see where his head is at, because somebody who's as passionate as he is and really doesn't conform to that mass appeal bullshit must be really racking his fucking brain to put something like this together. So I picked up the fragrance, I bought it at retail, and we're gonna unbox this joint and smell it together. Let's roll my motherfucking music so we can check out Eugene's You Smells Good fragrance.
Sexy motherfucker. We're all alone.
Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. Now, that long-ass intro was just to give you a little bit of context. So here's the presentation of the fragrance. Came in very neat. We did the whole paper and sticker vibes. When you want to do a full presentation, you go in hamburger, right? So here is, all right, so it comes with a card. To Angel, enjoy with love, Eugene. Again, I purchased this fragrance. This wasn't sent to me. I don't know if he sends personalized cards to everyone, but thank you. I appreciate that. So here is the presentation of the packaging. Very clean, very beautiful packaging. I like the motif. It has like a kind of like an old school style designer-esque, very clean, refined presentation. I appreciate that. I'm gonna butcher the fucking name. Obviously it's French and I don't speak French. A lot of Canadian dudes, I think it's depending where in Canada, speak a lot of French. Is it Quebec or Montreal? I don't know. I've never been to fucking Canada. Les Abstraits. How can I do it? Les Abstraits? Something like that, maybe? Les Doulier Exquis. Bro, I'm fucking halfway dyslexic. Who fucking knows? So a drink comes in a sleeve. We all care about the juice, right? That's what it is at the end of the fucking day. Clean presentation. I do like this shit. For some reason, it reminds me a little bit like a Karl Lagerfeld kind of black Chanel-ish kind of vibes. Very dope. I like a clean ass look, so I'll give you A+ on presentation. Obviously, I'm doing more here on presentation because it's a content creator also. So, you know, I'm putting a little bit more attention to detail than just some fucking designer. So, here's the fragrance. This is a 100 ml. I like the cap. I like the logo. I like the cap design. I like the shape. Clean bottle presentation, nice clean label with a dope font. Believe it or not, when as a content creator, since he's not a big corporation company or whatever, Font is a pain in the dick. I'm making merch and I'm going through all that process for this channel and my other channels or whatever. And that shit is a pain in the ass to find like that right fucking font to hit. So this one hits like just on point. So good selection on font if you did have anything to do with it, which I assume you did. I'm gonna look up the notes of this fragrance first and then I'm gonna get into it. I'm 100% prejudging this fragrance. I'm saying that this is going to be 100% more on the artistic side. This is not a fragrance that's gonna be mass appeal, panty dropper, any of that bullshit. This is definitely gonna be on a richer floral, and I'm judging floral because the card has roses on it, so I'm assuming it's a rose-based fragrance. I'm looking inside of the bottle. There's no random shit floating that I can see at this time, so that's cool. It's not contaminated or nothing along those lines, so that's a plus. Based on, like, I've seen maybe 3 videos of his or something like that. He's not about that shit. He's very on that artistic end, so I'm anticipating that this is gonna be more on the arty-farty type shit, so we shall see. Let's look up the notes. All right, so according to Fragrantica, Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, castoreum. Oof, that shit is gonna be a fucking grenade. Indonesian patchouli, leaf iris, myrrh, Spanish labdanum, oponax, clove, atlas cedar, cumin, olabdanum, and saffron. Ooh, all right, so it's definitely not on that mass appeal kind of panty dropping shit, leaning more toward castoreum, Bulgarian, and Turkish rose, cumin. This is going to be a very specific individual who rocks this fragrance. It's definitely not in that mass appeal genre based on notes. This is gonna be a fucking grenade, probably performance beast. I'm gonna do it on test strip first, and let's see what's what. This is all first impressions. Clearly you just saw me unbox the whole shit. So let's see what type of fragrance Eugene from You Smells Goods is putting together. That shit's pretty fucking good. The rose in here is on point. It's a lot less aggressive than I thought. When I saw the 2 roses in that castoreum, I was expecting some fucking like, scratchy ass shit. Nah. It's a very beautiful rose. I gotta try this on skin. Very interesting. I'm gonna do 2 sprays of this joint. Yeah. 2 spray. Once you pass that little 2 spray mark, shit. This is actually beautiful. Not mass appeal. For a rose lover that really wants to experience a rose with maybe a story behind it. You get the castoreum and the cumin. It's almost borderline BO-ish, kind of when you get that cumin shit, but like really, really, really like, I'm gonna be jumping off a ledge here. This feels like there's a story behind it. There's something here. He was going for something. There's some layers here of a thought process that went into this fragrance that seem very personal. It's beautiful in its own right, but there's a lot of story here. This wasn't put together to sell units. I'm gonna give him that. This was put together with a purpose of some sort. Only he would be able to answer that purpose. It's like a story. I feel like this was made for someone. And I'm jumping on. This is just what my brain is getting. This was made for someone in not memory of, I don't know. This was made for, that's what I'm getting from this shit. There's a story behind this fragrance. This was put together with a thought, with intent, with something, you know what I'm saying? The rose here, super elegant. I would say crazy quality, very refined, up there with some of the nichier type roses that I've smelled 100%. The weather for this fragrance, for me, the fragrance may have some versatility. For me, it leans definitely more cold weather, 100%. It's not as rash and as aggressive as I would have thought it was gonna be. It's a lovely fragrance. It is lovely. It's not mass appealing. There's a lot of people that aren't gonna rock with this type of tone because they're just not on that. They're on it for mass appeal, panty dropping, I wanna have bust set, you know what I'm saying? They own that shit. This ain't that. This is for the person who is a real rose enthusiast that wants to smell something of niche quality. The castoreum isn't aggressive, the cumin is there and very present, the rose is really the superstar of this shit. There's leathery nuances in this fragrance that also provide some light animalic kind of qualities in here. And then now when it's on mid and shit, it's more like powdery rose, slightly woody. It's a lovely fragrance. It's a very mature, refined, delicate, artsy-fartsy type fragrance, which I anticipated it to be. Only thing I prejudged it on, honestly, was that it was gonna be a little bit scratchy or aggressive or whatever. It's not that. It actually blends beautifully on the skin, but this is for a particular type of rose enthusiast who's on that niche type shit. Listen, bro, well done. I think if he was trying to portray some sort of story or something like that, or this was like a dedication, or I don't know, that came across to me that way, but that's on me. Is it a ball sprayer? It's a ball sprayer. It's a very, very lovely fragrance. I can't front. Listen, give props where props are due. It's not for everybody, it's for somebody. You really gotta be into that rose type vibe, because this is very different, way more mature. We're not talking senior citizen-ish or nothing like that, but it can be perceived that way. 100%. This is very, very artsy. This is like going to like a museum for the first time and really trying to force yourself to be, you know, submerged into the artist's mental and shit, but not understanding it yet till it really flows off of your skin. I love y'all motherfuckers from the heart. Shout out to Eugene and congratulations on your creation. And I'll see y'all bitches next time. You know who it is. Biggest in the game. Smooches.
Cubaknow, what's fresh, who's best? One of them's gonna pass the test. Cubaknow.
For the fly gun holder, money folder, molar roller, start tack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense, you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.